When I first painted Emily from The Corpse Bride, I didn't realize how much I'd end up relating to her story. A story that is all about love, loss, and maybe most importantly, letting go. If you've never heard of The Corpse Bride, it's a 2005 Tim Burton film that follows Victor, a nervous groom who accidentally places his wedding ring on the finger of a woman who's, well, no longer living. That woman is Emily, the corpse bride herself, and she quite easily became one of the most tragic yet bravest characters I have had the pleasure of watching on the big screen. So let's start at the beginning of the movie. Victor is absolutely terrified upon meeting Emily, who basically climbs out of a dirt patch, zombie style, and she is visibly terrifying. She is half skeletal with a ripped wedding dress, with some ribs showing and some bones showing through her face, and she has the habit of losing her eyeball when she gets a bit too stressed out. From here, she drags Victor back to the world of the dead, a wildly colorful atmosphere that's filled with lively characters like a literal earworm named Maggot and a singing skeleton by the name of Bojangles. And here we come to learn about Emily's backstory, revealing she was a beautiful young woman who was grifted by her fiancé and left for dead deep in the woods in the middle of the night. I remember my heart feeling so sad for Emily, who not only felt completely devastated by her lover's betrayal, but whose life was also taken so quickly and so wrongfully. Because honestly, all she really wanted was to love and to be loved. Until her dying breath, she never received it. So Emily finds herself in the land of the dead, vowing to find that special someone to set her free and give her the life she always dreamed of. A life she desperately hopes she would have with Victor. And throughout the movie, Emily finds herself attempting to win over Victor's heart and becomes enraged and really jealous when she finds out that Victor already has a fiancée in the living world named Victoria. Emily is furious and she begins to play the comparison game between herself and Victoria, calling her Little Miss Living and continually asking, what does she got that I haven't? And of course, this being a movie and Tim Burton, this is all set against like a beautifully gothic kind of atmosphere. The pair learn to really get to know each other and the chemistry is really great. Eventually, towards the end of the movie, when Victor willingly decides to properly marry Emily at the altar, Emily catches a glimpse of Victoria, who stands in shock as she sees her love, Victor, marrying someone who is dead. And here, Emily just can't bear to go through with the marriage. She knew that even though her dreams were taken from her, it wouldn't be right for her to take Victoria's dream too. And in a completely selfless act, Emily lets go. She realizes that love built on control or manipulation or fear isn't really love at all. When she releases Victor back to the living world to be with his true love, she chooses peace, and inherently, she chooses herself. What I love at the ending of this movie is once Emily has this realization, this act of reckless self-love for herself, she kind of has this one final breath of peace and she disintegrates into a bunch of butterflies that then fly off into the moonlight. And it is so freaking gorgeous. It's the perfect representation of what choosing yourself kind of looks like. And I think that's what makes Emily so powerful as a character. She's technically dead, but she is the most alive and colorful character with the most personality in this film. She brings color, emotion, and light into a world that's just gray and cold. There's just something so beautifully human about that. When I look back at my own life, I see a lot of Emily in me too. Especially in my younger years, always chasing approval, love, attention. I thought if I could just do enough or be enough, someone would finally see me. But just like Emily, I realized that kind of love isn't sustainable. It drains you, and it makes you forget who you really are. As I grew older, I stopped trying so hard to prove my worth. I began learning how to love myself, flaws and all, learning what my true strengths are and leaning into them. And ironically, that's when everything else, love, connection, confidence, began to flow naturally because it just wasn't forced anymore. It was real. Emily's story reminds me that letting go isn't losing. It's actually the most powerful act of love there is, choosing peace over resentment, choosing yourself over the past. As a recovering people pleaser, this speaks volumes to me. Reconciling the past and learning to move forward with positivity and with peace. This painting is my love letter to Emily and to anyone who's ever had to let go of something that once meant everything. I've included this piece in my Great Halloween art sale along with other spooky favorites, witches, black cats, and all sorts of deliciously dark magical stuff. And a huge bonus, if you grab a painting, you'll be entered to win my Morticia Addams artwork in a special Halloween raffle. So if you've been feeling called to treat yourself or to honor your own transformation, maybe one of these pieces is waiting for you too. Thanks for being here, and remember, you are enough, you are whole, and you deserve to bloom, even in the dark.